Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good night, howdy. Back for another episode of All the Mods 10, episode number 13. Now, I thought I was recording, but apparently not. So I did do at least a good, 30 minutes or so of video. I've been talking for about like 30 plus minutes, and I didn't record it. So we're going to start over here. GG. Well then, on today's episode, we're gonna go into the BumbleZone to start bees, which I've already done, and we're going to automate bees, breed them, and get the best genetics possible. The genetics and breeding might be the next episode. Hello everybody, Axolotl, llamas, oink oink, robot. This episode is all about the bees, but before we start with the bees, I would like to go over what I've done in between episodes because I would say it's very important. As you can see, it's kind of empty there. And the reason why is because it's in here. I put all the holiday stuff in storage. So, Christmas trees in here, some ornaments. And yeah. Until next time. What's behind the red door? We're going to find out next time. We'll find out soon enough. It won't be in this episode though. So let's go around here and see what I've done. It's a rainbow! A double rainbow, ladies and gentlemen! I moved the time crystal up because it looks a little bit better that way. Check it out. We had 100 or so. Oh, check it out. I just teleported out of here. We had 100 or so at the end of the last episode. But now we have 15,000, so I have been playing. It's not bad. We have our laboratory here, power generation building. I did set this up. This is a throughput monitor, kind of like the other one over there. This tells me how much energy we're making and losing per tick. We have 1 trillion power in our inventory system. I reworked how our energy system works, so now all of the energy is getting put directly into an enemy interface, and it's getting sent into our system, and then our system is outputting that energy here. We'll have an interface here, and this ender cell is automatically pulling from that interface. But that's our power rework that I did in between episodes. This is going to be our bee room here, where we breed and produce mega bees. Let's see, what else have I done? Let's check it out. I did do some work in the Just Dire Things building here. At the moment, these soul surges are disconnected. I can actually connect them. Check it out. Watch. If I do this, this. If I do this, and this, and I grab this soul pipe and I right click it, check it out. There's this new mod that has been added that's called Soulplied Energistics. So should let me connect to this now. Why you not let me connect to this? Alright, well, it looks like I'm going to need another one. So what I'm gonna do is do this. Extended. And here, and what I'm going to do is grab some cable and bring it down here. This connect here. What I'm doing is hooking up this soul pipe into this ME interface. Yeah, there we go. And if I right click with this, nice. It should be working now. Is everything connected? Yes. I had this disconnected, but if you right click with the soul pipe, you can extract warden souls. There we go. Now it's working. Check it out. It's pretty fast and it's not connected to the warden at all. And that is because I have this storage bus connected to the soul laser base. It's pretty much our system is pretty much reading this as an inventory, and with the ME interface setup, it allows us to pretty much get souls from anywhere wirelessly without having to have a warden everywhere you'd want to power it. You wouldn't need to have a warden anywhere you want to tick accelerate a block like this. So you can send the souls wirelessly now, like we're doing here, because there's no cable connecting down there. So that's something that I did in between episodes. I'll show you another example here shortly. So that is the power setup that we upgraded, and a quick brief introduction into Soulplied Energistics. It's the mod that allows you to store the souls in the A inventory system. This is another example of it where I have a wireless connector connected to our system over there. I have an interface with warden souls. Again, you use the Industrial Foregoing Souls pipe, like this pipe here. It says right click to set the warden souls, and that allows you to put the warden souls in here and extract them and tick accelerate blocks. For example, this is our uranium farm. This one on the left is tick accelerated by this soul surge and the warden souls, and the one on the right isn't. As you can see, this goes up to like 20, 30 before it gets pulled out, and this one goes 1. Yeah, it's the same cable, so the ratio when it's pulling out should be the same, except this one's just way faster because of the upgrades and stuff. And this last thing I did in between episodes is I swapped out one of the processors for a quantum core, for a quantum computer core, and that makes our auto crafting even faster now. Check it out. It's pretty cool. It's nice. Let's go ahead and drop these items here. But that's pretty much what I've done in between episodes. As you guys saw up here, I've already started with the bees, which is not too bad. So I'll go over what I've done here so far. I have a wireless connector connected to our system, so we can attach all these beehives and collect the resources and put them into our system here. What I've done is created an advanced oak beehive. So if I click here, an advanced oak beehive is just a campfire, shears, honeycombs, and a regular beehive, and some planks. And for the regular beehive, you need combs and planks. I went ahead and crafted a bunch of these already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 of them already, but I didn't have honeycombs to start with, and that's where we enter the BumbleZone. I'll go over this in a little bit. So I did this literally, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes ago, but we can go over it again really fast. We're going to enter a brand new dimension. It's called the BumbleZone. If we grab an ender pearl and find a beehive, I already know where a beehive is. I think there's one right here. So we're going to teleport inside of this bee nest here. So if you throw an ender pearl in here, check it out. It says teleporting into the BumbleZone. And check it out. We're in the beehive, in the bee nest, where there's just a bunch of pollen and honeycomb blocks literally everywhere. Check it out. But yeah, this is what I came in here and I gathered some honeycomb blocks. So these are honeycomb blocks here. If I go ahead and break some of this, we can harvest some of the honeycomb blocks in the bee nest, and that'll give us like a good buffer, because we can go ahead and craft these honeycomb blocks into regular honeycombs. Here we go. Now we have 4 stacks, and that helped us make the beehives, which required a bunch of honeycombs, and as well as the advanced beehive, it required even more honeycombs. And there are expansion blocks on, let's go ahead and hit back. All right, here we go. Now we're back here. So these require a bunch of honeycombs to make, and an expansion box required even more. So this is an advanced oak beehive. It gives you 3 slots. Now there is a regular beehive that you can craft that's part of vanilla Minecraft. They don't look that different. This might look a little darker in texture, but a regular beehive will show you kind of like the internals of the beehive up top, and you can't right click it. However, with the advanced oak beehive, you can. Now the advanced oak beehive gives you 3 slots for bees. It gives you a slot to put in glass bottles for honey bottles, and it gives you a slot to access the honeycombs that are being produced. Now, if you were to add an expansion box, an oak expansion box, and this is all part of the Productive Bees mod, which we're working on today. And did make some aldomodium carrots. It's pretty nutritious. It gives you a bunch of good buffs, and it gives you extra hearts. As you can see, it's pretty good. And so if you add an oak expansion box, it gives you 2 additional slots, and the same amount of slots for the honey bottles and the same amount of slots for the honeycombs. But it also gives you 4 slots here to add upgrades. Now, we did go ahead and craft upgrades already right before this. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Once again, we made the simulator upgrade, which is some blaze rods, ender pearls, and an anti-teleportation upgrade. And that's just an upgrade base, ender pearls, and honeycomb blocks, and honey treat, and some diamonds and some sticks gets you the upgrade base. As you can see, a lot of the recipes here require honeycomb blocks and pollen puffs. So going into the BumbleZone and teleporting into the bee nest and harvesting some honey is a good way to get started. It gives you like a good boost. But yeah, we went ahead and make the simulator upgrades. What this allows you to do is once you put a bee in there, it'll allow the bee to stay in there without it ever leaving the beehive. Or yeah, the beehive. Because if you didn't have an upgrade there, every so often the bee will pop out, it'll fly around, and it might never make its way back in, or sometimes it will. But if you have the simulator upgrade, it'll simulate doing that within here, so it never leaves. Which you want, which is what you want, because these will always keep producing if they're always in there. Now, we went ahead and crafted some oak beehives and some expansion boxes, and we even made our first upgrade. Now, the next thing we were going to do, and we're doing now, is we want to make this productivity omega upgrade. This is the next upgrade we want to make, because if you can read the description, I'll read it for us as well. It increases the production output of bees in the hive by 260%. If you add multiple upgrades, the percentage, it'll yield even more than that. And it also acts as a simulator upgrade, so this, and a block upgrade, which you can also make, which means that instead of getting honeycombs, instead of getting the regular comb, you'll get comb blocks, which will yield more resources. So in order to make that omega upgrade, there are 3 different tiers that you have to make. You have to make a productivity alpha, beta, and gamma. And then once you have the gamma, it'll allow you to make the omega. But it's kind of like a backwards recipe where you have to have the previous tier. And the first tier is the productivity alpha, but it requires you to have this draconic chunk, which is made by draconic dust, which is made from a draconic comb. And the way you get a draconic comb is from a draconic bee. And the way you get a draconic bee is you can either breed it with an ancient bee. That's the uses recipe. You can get a draconic bee by making an obsidian nest and feeding it dragon's breath. So you can make an obsidian nest fairly easy. So if you type in obsidian nest, you have to craft a sword, and get some obsidian, and that'll get you an obsidian nest. Now we're going to need some bee cages. All right, and I crafted some here. In order for you to get bee cages starting out, I didn't have any honey bottles, so what I had to do was this. I went ahead and made a powered centrifuge, which is going to be used a lot throughout this mod pack and this mod. I made a powered centrifuge, which requires a regular centrifuge first, which is iron and a grindstone. The powered centrifuge is kind of like, it just makes the producing of this faster. So if you were to grab some honeycombs, you can feed it some honeycombs, and eventually you'll get some wax and a little bit of honey. That honey then gets put into a bottler. If you give it some bottles, you'll get some honey bottles. Then you can go ahead and then use that honey bottle to make more bee cages. This is what I did because I didn't have any. And I also made this speedier upgrade, which is really good, which we'll also use in our beehives. We're going to have the omega upgrade and a bunch of speed upgrades. This is actually the second tier of speed upgrades. This is a speedier upgrade. In order to make this, you need Heart of the Seas, Nether Stars, the speed upgrades, which is the clocks, honeycomb blocks, again, honey, and more honey treats. But yeah, it makes this even faster. If I remove this, it goes extremely slow, but we can also speed it up with timing them on, and this will just go really fast, and we have a lot of honey. So I did that to speed up the process. Music, I do like the music, I do like it, but that's what this contraption is here. But the goal here is to make really good productive bees, and the reason why you'd want the bees is because the bees can generate pretty much anything. They can generate some diamonds. It's kind of like mystical agriculture where there are seeds that craft diamonds for you, but this version is bees, and if you have the right genetics and the right upgrades, it can be even faster than a farm, I suppose, depending on how you have them set up, I suppose. But the next step in this process is to gather some draconic bees, which we're going to do with this obsidian nest, which I've already done. Check it out. I got 5 of them here, but I'll show you guys how to do it one more time here. Let's go ahead and go back to the house. I really thought I was recording. Gee. I'm gonna say that probably this whole episode. Maybe not. Maybe once I get past this initial point here. But I went to the end time zone here. As you can see, now I have 3 of them. I had 2 of them here. This is our end time zone where we're generating crystals. Check it out. It's cool. But if you grab some dragon's breath, if you guys remember the recipe, let's look up Draconic bee once more, because this is what we need. Because they produce the items we need here. Uses, gives us the Draconic dust, which then makes Draconic chunks, which then means we can start our Omega upgrade here. This is what we want. Now this is really expensive, believe it or not. And the main kind of like bottleneck right now is Draconic chunks. Now this is kind of like setting it up for like end game bees. You can make like the previous tier upgrades and work your way up. However, I kind of want to make the best thing possible now, so we're gonna do that. So you grab some dragon's breath and you right click a bee nest or the subsidian nest. As you can see on the top, there's a counter, and every time you feed it some dragon's breath, the counter goes down. And if you can get it all the way down to 1, all right, we could just wait. You'll then get a bee. This is a Draconic bee. Check it out. Looks cool. Now, I'm not going to capture it. We can leave it here. I don't see why not. But that's a Draconic bee. And that Draconic bee will produce us some Draconic chunks, which will allow us to make the best upgrades possible. It'll increase our yield to 260%, which is pretty good. So I went ahead and collected those bees. I did want 5 of those bees because these have room for 5. So with the simulator upgrade in here first, that's what you want. You can go ahead and place these down. Once you put the bee cages in the beehive, it'll disappear unless you get a sturdy bee cage, which I don't know how you make now. You used to be able to craft these, but it looks like you can't craft these as of right now. But now that we have the Draconic bees in here, we can then go ahead and give it its flowering flower. So bees need a specific flower to produce honeycombs. And in this case, it's actually a dragon egg. So if we grab a dragon egg, 1 dragon egg, and a feeding slab. Now, what a feeding slab is it allows you to place this. You can place it right. I think I want it 1 lower. Oops. Go ahead and put it right here. I put the dragon egg right here. Not 32 of them. These should start producing over time. Now, with the power of the time wand, we can speed this up a little bit. So let's see if this will work. As you can hear it now, you see the honey being produced. And check it out, ladies and gentlemen. We now have some Draconic combs and some pollen puffs. Now, there's something that I would like to do, and I would like to get this automated. So I don't want to have to go in here and manually do this. So what you do after this is you'd get some Draconic combs. You would then go ahead and put these combs in here. Right? Yeah, as you can see, it's kind of slow, but we can speed it up. It'll always produce honey. That honey is getting stored here. But as you can see, we managed to get Draconic dust. Now, from what I know, it's not a 1-to-1. It's only a 40% chance of getting these. So the more combs you can produce, the better. And yeah. But I would like to automate this. So let's do that. Now I wonder if that's full or not. Will it stop the production of this? No, I won't. So you can actually just leave that filled in there. I'm sure we'll need honey bottles at some point. But let's go. Created our first Draconic chunk. And with that, we can make the upgrades. As you can see, we can make the first productivity alpha upgrade. However, what I want is the gamma, not the gamma, the omega upgrade, which will require a bunch of this. So what I would like to do is I would like to automate this in some way. And the way I'm going to do that, I think it's going to be through Super Factory Manager. Now, I've never messed with this mod before, but we could try it. Why not? So, Factory Manager. I did craft these recipes beforehand. Now, these aren't too complicated to make. Factory Manager is one of the main blocks. It's a chest. Inventory cable from the same mod. Repeater. The inventory cable is some black dye, some weighted pressure plates, iron bars, chest. So let's go ahead and make one of these factory managers. All right, we got one of these. Now, where do I want to place this? It's gonna be kind of dark in here now. All right, we're gonna place it right here. Why not? Right there. So that's going to be the start of our automation here. Now, I've never messed with this, so bear with me. We're gonna go through it together. It seems pretty cool, so let's check it out. I kind of want to do it. So inventory cable. Let's craft 100 of these. Go. So, well, how this works is the factory manager will connect to these beehives and this centrifuge right here, which honestly, I can go ahead and break these items now for now. Maybe I just lost all that honey, but you know, it's all good. I would like it to connect to this right here. So what I'm going to do is I have to route this inventory cable, and for the sakes of the video, let's put this on. Yeah, it's a lot brighter in here. I would like to fix the lighting in here somehow, but for now, this will do. So I need to hook up this inventory cable to all of these beehives here. So what I'm going to do is on the bottom of each one of these, I'm going to go ahead and route some cables. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's this. Wait, what? What is that? Now, these have to be connected to the cable here. The bees are making some honey. Right, and here we go. And we're going to make sure each one of these items that we're connecting to has a cable attached to it. Kind of like this. There we go. And there we go. As you can see, all of our beehives here are connected to the cable and into the factory manager. So for now, I'm just going to leave it like that. I will go ahead and clean it up once I'm done explaining. Probably have to go and look up how to do this, but it seems like once we have our cables connected to our beehives and whatever you want to interact with and the centrifuge, we can then go ahead and make a program disk. Now, so if we go ahead and look at program disk, I just showed the recipe there. It's not too bad to make. I did make auto crafts for this, but these are the items you'll need in order to make it. I already set up a pattern and a recipe for it and put it in our system so it knows how to make it. We're going to go ahead and put this program right here. Now, what this allows us to do is pretty much tell this factory manager what to do. Now, there are a bunch of examples here that you can go through. For example, this one is called a simple program. And what this does, it kind of shows you what it does. So every 20 ticks, so 20 ticks is 1 second. So every 20 ticks, input from A and output to B. So if we label, I don't know, if we label, from what I'm assuming how that works is, so input from A, output to B. So we're inputting into the cables from the beehives. This can be A and this can be labeled B. So what this will allow us to do is, let's check it out. Let's try doing that. Done. All right, and it's working. We're going to use that same program there. Now there is one caveat, I guess, or problem, because not all of these items could go in the centrifuge here. So we would have to edit this program here. Now let's go ahead and we can name this program, I don't know, bee automation. In order to, so we can label this A and we can label this B, right? But everything can't go in there because the pollen puffs do not go in there. So we need to make something else so we can put the pollen puffs in there. Now I can make a ME interface and I can place it down literally anywhere in the line. So I can actually just place it, I don't know, right here. Let's just do that. I can place it right here. And we can drag some cables. And we need a way to power this up. Now I can run a cable all the way over there, or what I can do is, check it out. Connector. And once that's done, here we go. So I can actually, I'm gonna break this here and plug this right there and plug this right there. And I'm gonna connect the two, and then it should have access to all the channels that has. And since I haven't connected anything in here yet, it has 32 channels here. We can go ahead and clear it, connect it. Now, here we go. This should be online here. Device online. And now it says we're using 1 out of 32 channels because we connected this one. So what I would like to do now is I would like all of the honeycombs that are being produced from all these bees to go into here, and I would like all the pollen puffs to go into here. So we're going to have to tell this program how to do that. We need to edit this program, input from hive. So every 20 ticks we want to input from hive, and then we want to output. Once it turns purple from, oh no, okay, so input from hive, output to centrifuge, output to interface. All right. So we can go ahead and erase all this here. So now what we're going to do here, oh, what? We got some raiders over here, something. So we want to input from the hive. So from the hives, we want to output to the centrifuge and the interface. But there is a little bit more we have to do to this. Right here, we need to asterisk comb. And what the asterisk does is anything with comb in its name, it'll send to the centrifuge. And here, anything with pollen, it will send it to the interface. So I think that's pretty much it. Now, if the code wouldn't, say for example, you did something wrong, this will turn red. For example, if I erase this and hit done, it says invalid program because I didn't tell this line of code where to output to because I removed this letter. Output to interface. And if it's a good program, then it'll be green. Now, how is this factory manager going to know what a beehive is, what a centrifuge is, and what an interface is? That's where you grab the label gun. And here we go. And let's see what it says. It says right click a factory manager to push labels, and right click a factory manager while sneaking to pull labels, and hold control to apply labels to block of the same adjacent type to cables. I don't know what the third line is, but if we shift right click these, it should pull labels. And if you right click this label gun again, check it out. It gives you the interface, the hive, and the centrifuge. Because if you look here, anything in green without the asterisk will be considered kind of like an item. So if I right click centrifuge here, as on the bottom there you see it says centrifuge. If I right click here, now we have told this label gun that this item right here is centrifuge. And if we right click this, pretty much it knows where the centrifuge is now. Now, if we right click this again, click hives, and what we want to do is right click all the hives. And if we right click the manager again, it now knows that those are hives. And let's see, can we see it in action here? Oh, check it out. It's actually going down. And that's because it automatically pulled the honeycombs into the centrifuge. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. We've now made a program that pulls out the honeycombs into the centrifuge automatically without me having to do anything. Now, what I can do here is, for example, I could go ahead and make more powered centrifuges, what I already did. And I can place them here and here. I can grab some ender gates, place them here and here. And I can grab some cables, place them here and here. And what I can do here is centrifuge. If I right click the label gun, centrifuge, I can add more centrifuges into the system once I right click the factory manager. And as you can see, these all filled up with draconic combs as well. Check it out. That is pretty cool. You can pretty much expand your automation very easily. I don't know how to code at all, honestly, but I did see a YouTuber explain this and I liked the way he explained it, so I decided to give it a try. But check it out. We've now automated all of the honeycombs going in there. Now, we're missing one more thing. If we right click the interface here and place it here, all the pollen should get pulled out and get placed into our system. All right. We have now automated bees. Let's cover this up. And let's clean up here. Well, I could add some trapdoors on there, I guess. Let's see. Alright, that's cool. Now, anytime I add more bees in here, for example, this super factory or this factory manager will automatically know to pull all the items out, all the combs into here, and all of the items into here, all the pollen into here. Now, what I can do as well, I can also set up a program, or I can add more lines to the code so it can automatically pull from this to that. So what I can do here is, for the sakes of simplicity, and then I can add, I don't know, forget. Is it forget? I don't know what this does, but it pretty much tells this to forget this interaction and then do this one. And then what I want to do is input from A, and then this is just to show the simplicity of it. Output to B. Done. Now it read it, and if I shift right click this, as you can see, it gave me a slot for A and B. So if I go over here and select A, these are labeled centrifuges, but you can also label them a different, you can pretty much label them differently as well. And then if I click this B, I can set that to B as well. So what it should do technically is it should pretty much pull all this stuff and put it in there. So let's look up wax. We have 64 wax and draconic. We have 3 draconic dust, and we have 20 in here and 6 in here. So we should see an increase of our wax and our dust. And I'm not sure if it'll pull the honey in, but we're gonna find out. Honey. I don't know where the honey's going, honestly. I think it's still there. It's just maybe glitched. I don't know. But I want to pull all these items out into here. So I labeled that A, and I have this set to B, and I can hit this B. All right, and shift. I think it's shift here. Oh, right. There we go. Now, what should happen here is these should all empty out and get pulled into there. I did that right. Oh, I think I did it wrong. I should have just right clicked instead of shift. So we're going to label these again. And then label this once more. And just right click. Now, as you can see, it's all gone. It's all in here. Yeah, we have draconic dust there. And wax. We have 163 wax. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. From A to B. Pretty simple. Let's test this out. So what I can do is speed this up. So I just wanted to see if it would pull the draconic combs out, which it doesn't look like it's doing, which is good. I wasn't sure if it was going to just pull everything out of it, but it only pulls out the items that it's processed. So it's good. I like it. Now, what I'm noticing is that it doesn't pull the honey. Mechanical pipe. This pipe is cool. What if I just pipe it out here? And a tank. Do I have a honey tank already? I thought I did. Huh, cool. And let's grab a wrench. And let's keep spamming this. Benefits of having a time one. So we have 27 buckets of it. And this only holds a max of 10,000 millibuckets. So it seems like this is not pulling out the honey. Now, I don't know if it's something with the code, but you know what? It's all good. Quick recap of what we've done here. We managed to get started with productive bees with the help of the BumbleZone. In order to get started in this mod pack, you need a ridiculous amount of honeycomb blocks, honeycombs, and honey bottles. Now, a good way of getting that is by traveling into a bee nest. So if you throw an ender pearl into a bee nest, you get teleported into the BumbleZone, where this whole dimension is just pollen and honeycomb blocks. Check it out, honeycombs. But yeah, it's a great way of kind of like starting productive bees. Great way to collect resources. But we went ahead and did that. And then we managed to, with this, oh, what? With this, we managed to make some beehives and some expansion boxes. All the items in this mod pack requires you to use a bunch of honeycombs, which is why going into the BumbleZone and harvesting some honeycombs is really good. But we went ahead and did that. We went to the end and we created a nest, a bee nest, specifically an obsidian bee nest to get draconic bees. We managed to get 5 of them, and it's now producing draconic pieces or draconic chunks, draconic dust, which is needed to make upgrades to increase the productivity of these bees. Now, there's more than one way to increase the productivity. You can use upgrades, or you can use genetics. For example, if you look at the stats in this bee, it says productivity medium, weather tolerance none, behavior diurnal. Now we can change these attributes with gene modification, which is something we'll probably do in the next episode, and as well as some breeding. So it'll be the breeding and genetics episode. This is more of like an introduction to the bees and how to automate them with Super Factory Manager. This is the factory manager here, and with this block here you can add it's called a program disk, and you can make you can put like some text, like a code. Pretty simple. It's all that's doing here. It says every 20 ticks, which is a second in real time, input from hives, and then output the combs. If you have an asterisk here, it'll just anything with the name comb, it'll put it into the centrifuge, and anything with the name pollen, we'll put it into the interface. And to make things even more easier, you can just do input from A and output to B. And the way that these are set up is they're all connected through cables, which I showed earlier. But all these here are connected through cables. It has a cable running all the way down here and below each one of these machines, as you can see here. And it does what it's shown here. So the hives will pull the honeycombs into here, which you see here. And it'll pull the pollen that's also generated from the bees into here. And that'll get just put into our system. We have 489. We started with, I don't know, there's like 100, almost 200 in there. So it's almost doubled. And we do have another part of the program, because I just wanted to showcase how easy it is. It says input from A, output to B. So we managed to label this A, and we labeled this B. And you can use this label gun. If you check it out here, shift right click. So as you can see, if you right click in the air, you can click what you want to program. A, we selected A and we labeled this A, and you can right click here, press the B. You can program this to B with right clicking, and that's pretty much it. These are the hives, they go into here, and the pollen goes into there. So that's pretty much a introduction to the bees and how you can make resources with them, how you can automate the resource production of them. And yeah, that's about it. On the next episode, I'm going to show you guys the different types of bees and how you can use them to breed and make other bees, and how you can gather gene genetics or bean gene genetics, I think that's how you say it, to make some powerful bees with really good attributes that produce even more combs. But this is a basic tutorial on our basic guide, I don't know, on the Productive Bees mod. Whoever's tuned in, thank you guys for tuning in. Rodri, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you guys have a good day, good night, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time zone it is for you. Thank you guys for watching. On the next episode, we're going to once again work on bees again, but we're going to get a little bit more technical and advanced in the next episode. So until then, once again, hopefully you guys have a good day, good night, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time zone it is for you. Thank you for watching. I will fix this one dirt block here. Let's do it right now. Actually, let's do it right now. Going farming, go seeds. No! Here we go. And just for the sakes of it being fully grown. Oh, heal. Bone meal. All right, there we go. I'm out.